How on earth do you prepare for that?
You kind of know that this might happen. You don't really think about it very much because the monarchy is about continuity.
Although Princess Anne has a reputation for being straightforward, her recent revelations have rocked the royal family. A shocking development has occurred. Anne has spoken up, changing the dynamic between Prince William and Catherine. There may be permanent changes to the monarchy as a result of her unforeseen action, which leaves King Charles reeling. Is the modern royal family about to collapse? We'll have to see. Royal Rebel. One member of the British royal family who has always been in the spotlight is Princess Anne, who is the only daughter of Queen Elizabeth II. It seems, however, that the ordeal is at last ended, since she has only recently spoken out, shocking the royalty of England. But before we do that, let's establish Anne's identity and discuss the tremendous significance of her comments. Anne, who was born in 1950, became known as someone who wouldn't play by the usual royal rules. She has always done things her own way, earning the nickname Royal Rebel for her no-nonsense attitude toward life, work, and royal responsibilities. Differentiating her from many others in the family, especially her younger siblings, she is seen as strong, diligent, and fiercely self-reliant. When compared to other royals, Anne has always preferred to stay out of the spotlight. She works tirelessly behind the scenes, but she has remained relatively quiet compared to her brothers and even her nephews William and Harry. Because of her selflessness, she is highly esteemed both within and outside of the royal family. Her impact on the family and the monarchy is evident, even if she isn't exactly a front-page celebrity, an industrious royal. Princess Anne is known for being one of the most diligent royals, which is a crucial part of her position. Anne is famous for getting her hands dirty and getting things done, in contrast to many of her younger relatives who are admired for their lavish lifestyles. Throughout her career, she has generously supported over 300 different charities, demonstrating her unwavering dedication to her royal responsibilities. There is no one who can equal Anne's work ethic, whether she is flying across the nation or the globe to attend events. This is itself remarkable, but Anne goes above and beyond by actively participating in the causes she champions. She backs a charity or organization at a substantial level because of her no-nonsense approach. Among Anne's many selfless acts is her support for equestrian charities, which she loves doing in her own time, and her long-standing patronage of Save the Children. True royalty. Princess Anne is a shining example of a royal who works hard, especially in a dynasty that is generally said to be uninvolved. She has spent decades cultivating connections with organizations and gaining a genuine grasp of the topics she supports. She is not interested in just appearing for photo opportunities or being a figurehead. A lot of people who keep tabs on the royal family have said that Anne is different from her younger siblings and cousins in that she works very hard. Princess Anne's candor and at times frank demeanor are other factors contributing to her moniker as the Royal Rebel. Her refusal to sugarcoat matters has garnered her immense respect, especially from her peers in the royal family. She differs from her relatives who are more media-conscious in that she doesn't care about how people see her. She would rather ignore the turmoil and concentrate on her job. Anne has never been one to actively seek out the spotlight, unlike her other royals. She would rather let her deeds speak for themselves than waste time talking to the press, as she has often said. She has found success with this strategy for a long time, although it may seem dated in today's media-driven society. Being in the spotlight hasn't tarnished her reputation too much. A decade of devotion. Anne has consistently shown her disinterest in celebrity culture and royal spectacle throughout her life. Responsibility has always been and is her first priority. Anne has a reputation for being fiercely independent, even from a young age. In 1976, she represented Great Britain as an equestrian in the Olympics, making history as the first royal to do so. She became known as a daring royal after this, which was a huge event back then. Her accomplishments as an equestrian and her commitment to public service established her as a competent and diligent royal, not the kind to lounge about seeking praise. Since Prince Harry and Meghan's departure and the royal family has been under more public scrutiny and issues over the monarch's continued relevance, Princess Anne's position within the family has been even more important. There has been a stabilizing effect from Anne's constant presence, but people are taking notice of her strong opinions on several important matters. Even King Charles feels uneasy with her since she isn't afraid to say what's on her mind, even if it goes against the family's established beliefs. He must now navigate not just public opinion, but also the divergent opinions within his own family, all while becoming the king. Because of her fiery personality, tireless work ethic, and indisputable popular esteem, Anne is now more influential than ever before. While her brothers have always taken center stage, Anne is now seen as a key factor in guiding the monarchy into the future. In particular, she disagrees with Charles's more conventional views on modernization and financial changes, which she supports. King Charles is already under a lot of strain from attempting to manage his own reign, while also satisfying the opinions of rebellious relatives like Anne, and this conflict has just made things worse. A change is occurring inside the family as a result of Anne's increasing influence. Some even go so far as to claim the king is becoming more worried as Anne continues to voice her opinions on the future of the monarchy. The other senior royals are clearly listening to her and taking her views seriously. Princess Anne's and King Charles's relationship. The bond between Princess Anne and King Charles is one of a kind, as are all sibling relationships. Anne, the only daughter of Queen Elizabeth II, is generally thought of as being under Charles's shadow due to her position as the present king's younger sister. Nevertheless, their relationship is really rather complex, influenced by their varied personalities, early experiences, and divergent views on the monarchy's future. The relationship between Anne and Charles has gone through ups and downs throughout the years, with competition, collaboration, and conflict being especially prevalent now that Charles is king. A change in power dynamics has resulted in rumblings of unease at the top, and Anne's influence seems to be on the rise. Despite sharing a royal environment as children, the two brothers couldn't be more unlike in outlook and personality. Even at an early age, these distinctions stood out. Because of his position as future king, Charles was constantly the center of attention. He was brought up to be a contemplative monarch, one who is sensitive and introverted and who thinks deeply about things. Because of his shy personality, he was more likely to be the target of criticism than his sister, who was more extroverted and pragmatic. Contrarily, Anne's perspective was different from the moment she was born. Her personality was one of independence, toughness, and candor. She was most effective when she could make her own decisions without consulting anybody else. She felt more liberated than Charles since she wasn't burdened with the responsibilities of future royalty. On the other hand, Anne wasn't always constrained by the same expectations as Charles was because of her independence. Like many families, theirs was characterized by sibling rivalry in the early years of their relationship. Charles and Anne often had arguments because Charles is more introverted and cautious, while Anne is more outgoing and self-assured. Their divergent worldviews, which existed even when they were of similar ages, were much more apparent as they reached maturity and began to shoulder the responsibilities of a monarch. Though they tackled their growing royal duties in quite different ways, Charles and Anne eventually found themselves with equally weighty obligations. Legacy undertakings on a grand scale have always occupied King Charles's attention. Much of his public image is based on his lifelong dedication to organic farming, environmental protection, and design. Regarding environmental preservation and global warming in particular, Charles has always considered the afterlife of his work in the hopes of creating a society that shares his values. At the same time, Anne has taken a somewhat more down-to-earth approach to her royal responsibilities. Anne decided to devote herself to practical service while Charles would think about more general, theoretical things. Hundreds of charity activities, Save the Children involvement, and equestrian sports promotion kept Anne busy, while Charles worried about the world's future. Her dedication is evident in her engagement with more than 300 organizations, which highlights her commitment in making a direct impact rather than focusing on large-scale legacy initiatives. Tensions have arisen between the siblings on occasion due to their different perspectives. Anne and Charles are both very dedicated to their royal duties, yet they have disagreed on the importance of some issues on more than one occasion. Service, or just getting things done, has always been, in Anne's view, the essential to the monarchy's existence. Legacy and making the monarchy reflect contemporary ideals are important to Charles. Anne now thinks her brother is too idealistic because of this, while Charles, according to palace insiders, thinks Anne is too practical and has no long-term plan. The two brothers have overcome their conflicts and established separate roles inside the royal family. While they have managed to put their differences in vision aside for the sake of the monarchy, the passage of time has brought them even more apart, particularly with Charles as king. A power dynamic in transition. We will get to the part where Princess Anne shocked even William and Catherine soon enough, since I know you are all quite curious about that. What I have to say is crucial to the plot of this novel, so please, just give me a few more minutes of your time. These latent conflicts have recently surfaced with King Charles's accession to the throne. Princess Anne's increasing clout has allegedly disrupted the present dynamic within the royal family, casting doubt on Charles's reputation as a future-focused ruler. The more outspoken Anne has been in her criticism of the monarchy, the more her views clash with Charles's broader goals. Princess Anne has been quite outspoken about the need for financial reform and the simplification of royal responsibilities, two subjects that are at the center of the current disagreement. Anne has proposed that the royal family should streamline its operations, concentrate on essential duties, and reduce the financial strain on the people as a response to the changing world and growing criticism of the monarchy. By putting an emphasis on service rather than spectacle, her strategy aims to keep the monarchy relevant. This less complex strategy stands in stark contrast to King Charles's grand plans, which include running a number of royal homes and working on prominent initiatives that speak to his interests. Charles's desire to utilize his position to further personal interests may seem at conflict with Anne's more realistic and duty-oriented outlook. The inevitable alignment of William, the future king, with Anne's pragmatic attitude is further complicating matters within the family. Charles may have feelings of isolation as he and Anne collaborate more closely to update the monarchy, which might amplify the feeling of instability and further complicate the whole royal tale. A harmony between familial obligations and royal responsibilities is key to this connection. Anne and Charles have always gotten along well, although there has been tension due to the demands of their jobs. While King Charles is still settling into his role as king, he faces fresh difficulties brought about by Anne's increasing public power and her advocacy for change inside the monarchy. To make matters worse, Anne has a reputation for being someone who shies away from controversy and would rather not be the center of attention. Many have been caught unawares by her newfound activism in conversations over the future of the monarchy and her vehement views on the matter. Rumor has it that Charles will no longer be the only behemoth when it comes to royal government, thanks to Anne's fearless attitude. The fact that Anne's authority is expanding, especially with her nephew William's responsibility as king, has surely exacerbated the tensions that have arisen as a result. An unanticipated bond between William and Anne. Princess Anne and Prince William have grown closer in recent years, and it's been understated but significant. Their unusual collaboration is a result of their shared, unfaltering sense of devotion to the monarch, even though they have never been seen as especially close. As the difficulties of updating the royal family have increased, their cooperation has only deepened, and their mutual regard stems from their shared dedication to the future of the monarchy. The unwavering commitment of Princess Anne and Prince William to their royal responsibilities has been widely acknowledged for quite some time. Over the years, Anne has fulfilled more obligations than many of her younger royal contemporaries, earning her the reputation as the most diligent member of the royal family. As the future king, William has made it plain that he wants to keep the monarchy relevant via duty and service, which is in perfect harmony with her work ethic. Anne and William's shared dedication to duty has created an atmosphere of increasing respect, even if they weren't first seen as a perfect match within the royal family. They have always prioritized their royal duties, and this commonality has brought them closer together, and their friendship has grown stronger as the royal family is under more and more pressure to change. Anne and William have grown closer over the years, especially on the subject of the monarchy's future. Because of her long history of service to the monarchy, Anne knows how crucial it is to change with the times. William is well aware that the monarchy must adapt to the contemporary world if it is to continue existing in the future. They have banded together to fight for changes that question established norms, mainly concerning the size and function of the royal family. They have become closer as a pair since they both want the royal family's activities to be as efficient as possible. The idea of reducing the number of working royals and concentrating on a small group that can represent the monarchy most effectively is one Prince William has long expressed. Since Anne has always shown her conviction in the significance of service above spectacle by concentrating on fewer, more loyal members, this method perfectly accords with her own values. William and Anne both saw a chance to streamline the royal family so that it more accurately represents contemporary ideals. This dynamic has led some to believe that the monarchy may undergo a radical reform soon, spearheaded by Anne and William. Because Charles has always been a conservative and quite committed to the monarchy as it is, their efforts are ushering in a new age of openness and efficiency. The impact and function of Catherine. Princess Anne supposedly looks up to Catherine, Princess of Wales, and considers her an important member of the royal family. Anne may be known as a strict and conventional member of the family, but she has grown to respect Catherine as a steady and trustworthy princess who is adept at carrying out her public responsibilities. It takes a lot to win Princess Anne's respect because of her no-nonsense approach, as previously stated. That she has accomplished time and time again, by gracefully enduring the stresses of public life and never letting her guard down. Anne admires Catherine for how she juggles being a public person, a mother of 3, and the wife of the future king without attracting undue scrutiny or controversy. While performing her royal responsibilities, Catherine has kept her sense of normalcy, in contrast to other members of the royal family. People look to her as a reliable representative of the monarchy, someone who always acts with grace and poise. Anne, who has dedicated her whole life to serving the Queen, admires this dependability and elegance since these are qualities that she holds in high regard. Prince William's attitude toward his royal responsibilities has been greatly influenced by Catherine, his wife and companion. She has rallied behind his plan for a monarchy that is both more contemporary and simplified. By rebranding themselves as service-oriented royals who prioritize helping others above attending formal events, they have helped bring their public personas up to date. Princess Anne has taken notice of their strategy, which has garnered them a lot of popular support. As Anne has seen firsthand, William's self-assurance and competence in handling the challenges of royal life have been greatly enhanced by Catherine. The modernization that William desires, which involves minimizing the number of working royals and centering on a small group of devoted family members, has been strengthened by Catherine's personal devotion to the throne. She has given the royal family a new outlook and updated their public image via her impact on William's vision. By standing as a symbol of the future generation while honoring the family's heritage, Catherine has become a conduit for the flow of ideas between the royal family's traditional and contemporary practices. Anne seems to have seen that the impact Catherine is having on William is assisting in the direction of a more sustainable future for the monarchy, one that strikes a better balance between service and modernity. The way Catherine has influenced the public's perception of the royal family is something that Princess Anne has come to admire as she watches the next royal generation assume their responsibilities. While Anne and William's relationship receives more media attention, Their friendship is based on a common awareness of the need of loyal and honest service to the monarch. A watershed event in the annals of the castle. On the other hand, what if the monarchy's future held greater importance? Is it possible that the latest events signal its end? Surprised William and Catherine, Princess Anne has finally spoken up about her plans for the future of the royal family. Not only did Anne finally give her stamp of approval to William's strategy for dealing with family affairs, including his proposals to simplify royal responsibilities and restructure the finances, but she also said something that made the king very nervous. There are rumors that Anne stated her long-held belief that Charles should just step down as king, since he was clearly not suited for the role. He ought to have instead given William and Catherine the reins. Not only did Princess Anne's public backing surprise them, but it has shocked the whole royal family. She recently agreed with William's goals to update the monarchy in an interview. His plan to rein in wasteful expenditure, reduce the number of working royals, and hold the family to a higher standard of public accountability is very congruent with Anne's deeply held conviction in prioritizing duty above all else. The fact that she has decided to support William, particularly at this level, shows that the royal dynamic has changed dramatically. A new age of openness and efficiency may be upon the monarchy if Anne's influence and William's rising stature as a future king signal a sea change. Charles, being a conservative, has always had strong feelings for the established monarchy. Keeping the royal family diverse and public has been his top priority, as it pays homage to the institution's rich history. There is cause for fear that the power dynamic within the royal family may change as a result of Anne's vocal support for William's proposal to reduce the size and complexity of the family. As expected, the king is in a state of panic. You can't discount Anne's impact. Because of her status as a revered member of the royal family, her endorsement of William's initiatives lends them authority and respect. Charles may see this as evidence that his ideas for the monarchy are becoming irrelevant. Speculation has it that the king is frantically trying to keep the family in line because he is supposedly concerned by the idea of a future in which William's more contemporary approach takes priority over Charles's conventional ideas. The breaking of Princess Anne's silence to openly endorse William's plans for the future of the monarchy is a watershed event in royal history. There has been heated controversy over Princess Anne's proposal that King Charles step down. In your opinion, what does her outlook on the monarchy's future hold? Post a comment telling us.